Hey guys, and welcome to this week's video. Now, this week I have not been on top form whatsoever. My mood has hit an all-time low, and it's not really because of anything. Nothing has happened or anything like that. I've just been in one of those downward spirals, I suppose you could call it, where everything seems impossible. You don't want to talk to anybody. People just seem to irritate you a lot more. You just want to be on your own. Everything just seems very negative. Now, I had therapy for the first time in a month this week, and it was really, really hard. Now, I know therapy is meant to be hard. It's never easy. But just getting back into that headspace where I have to share things and talk about my feelings and be honest and sort of let out those demons, it was really, really tough. Because for a month, I bottled everything up. I just dealt with it by myself, very badly, obviously, because it's led me to this sort of downward spiral. Therapy had to take a back seat for about a month, just purely because my therapist was away for a few weeks, and then I had hospital procedures and appointments, and it just didn't work out, and my mental health, it was pushed away, and that is never a good thing, because once you start neglecting it, it's so easy to just completely ignore it until something major happens and a big blowout happens, which is exactly what's happened. Now, I know therapy is the best way to deal with mental health. I've tried it on my own, I've tried different things, but talking therapy, just talking about it and finding solutions and just talking about what's happened to you is the best way to deal with it. But it is never ever easy. I mean, after that therapy session, I came out and I was exhausted. Not only was I mentally exhausted, but I was physically exhausted from doing nothing but talking. I was sat in a room for over an hour, but just talking just completely knocked me out. I was so tired. I had such a bad headache afterwards, and I just sort of felt like this weird kind of in-between bubble after therapy where I was present but I really wasn't present in the world. I was sort of in my own head, and it stays like that where you really think, what's the point? Therapy is making me feel worse. What's the point of going? What's the point of rehashing out all these old demons? What's the point of going to come out feeling like you've run a marathon and you feel worse for talking than you did beforehand? But it isn't until either the day after, a few days after, you realise that once you've got everything off your chest and you've talked about it and you've dealt with those emotions, it feels a lot better and you feel more steady and more capable within yourself. So as much as I wanted to quit when I had therapy afterwards, I was like, what's the point? I hate this. Why? It isn't until a few days later, or even months down the line, you start to see a progress in yourself and the way you handle things, that you really sort of realise that this therapy thing is working and that it is worth the tiredness, the pain, and the general horrible feelings you get. Because in that session, you are talking about the worst feelings you feel about yourself, or the worst experiences of your life. And then you can't just, once that hour or time slot is up, you can't just close a book and put those feelings away. You are left feeling those feelings. You're left raw. You're left sort of bare. And it's a horrible, horrible feeling to have. And you just sort of want to curl away. But you've got to keep going. I have been in therapy for years, and sometimes it feels like I have made no progress whatsoever. It feels like, I've just been wasting my time rehashing all these problems, never finding anything. I feel like, what am I doing? But then when a situation comes up, or I have a downward spiral, or I hit rock bottom, I notice how I deal with it now, or I notice how things that would have completely killed me in the past don't really touch me now. And that's when I know that all this therapy and all this talking and all this being open and vulnerable and being willing to really be honest about myself, it helps. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye guys.